Hello, wonderful people. I hope you're having a fantastic day. It is raining. It's been raining here since late last night, which is no surprise because yesterday they were chemtrailing all day long, from morning until at least sunset. So this is becoming a daily thing here in Pennsylvania. It is like, starts in the morning and they just chemtrail all throughout the day. I mean, we are like approaching sunset and I just saw another plane go by. It's like nonstop. You know, sometimes they even chemtrail at night here, late at night, like really late at night. It's weird. So much for Al Gore's theory that they were just simply blocking out the sun.
You really have been telling us about this for a long time. You're one of the ones that have said we got to pay attention to this stuff. And I guess an inconvenient truth, the documentary was eye-opening to a lot of people. Yeah. And now you've written this book. And tell everybody, I mean, we know what it's about, but what made you want to write this?
Well, the future is unfolding a lot faster now than ever in history. And along with global warming, we have the genetics revolution and the computer internet revolution and the resorting of the world's power relationships and the emergence of a fully integrated global economy, Earth Inc., a growth trajectory that's putting pressure on fresh water and topsoil. And my purpose was to try to get all of these 6 drivers of global change together in one place, look how they're interacting with one another, and identify the choices that we need to make to protect human values.
Mm-hmm. And what are you... Well, first of all, let me ask you this question, because there's a rumor, I don't know if this is true or not, that some scientists are trying to figure out a way to block the sun to try to slow down global warming.
Yeah, it's a measure of the feeling of desperation that some of them feel.
Are they really thinking they could do that?
Well, some of them are seriously proposing, and I think it's completely nuts.
Yeah.
You put another kind of pollution, sulfur dioxide, up to orbit cover the atmosphere. The sky won't be really blue in the way it is now anymore, but it would block out some of the sun's heat so that we wouldn't have to take the difficult steps to stop spewing all this global warming pollution into the atmosphere.
The harmful rays of the sun. That's what he said when he was on Ellen. And then, of course, we have the mullet guy from Texas who says that they're just helping the farmers get some rain, right? Well, I went online. I did a little research to see if there were any updates regarding geoengineering. Looks like a lot more states are starting to ban it. If you live in one of those states, you are blessed. I live in a state that appears to be run by a Nazi, a literal Nazi. I mean, who else wants to push war with Russia? I mean, like, this is like Bush-era Nazi, this man. So, yeah, they chemtrail in Pennsylvania like you wouldn't believe. Lately it's been like every day. It's disgusting. So I took a sample of water and I put it under the microscope, 2 samples actually. And what I found, I mean, I actually don't even understand it. So I'm hoping that some of you can help me out. I did find an article regarding what they've been finding in other samples, geoengineering samples, that I want to share with you as well. So we'll jump into the articles and then I'll show you what I found today in my rainwater. It's not good. So when I was on Facebook, I was posting about chemtrails. I mean, I guess for over a decade. And last year I compiled a list of all the government agencies around the world, all the universities and all the news outlets, whether it was MSM or local newspapers. I imagine my list was around like 40 different organizations, all stating that chemtrailing, geoengineering, was a conspiracy theory. And when I went on today to see if there were any updates, It is shocking. Even after the incident of Texas and that weird guy with the mullet, that Augustus, whatever, Doricko or whatever his last name is, came out saying, yeah, I own a cloud seeding company. Yeah, we modify the weather. Even after that, these organizations online are still holding on to the lie that geoengineering is a conspiracy theory. And it blows my mind because the government has even come out and admitting that it's real. And these organizations are still putting fake news on the internet, even after the government came out admitting that geoengineering is real. It's mind-boggling. Like, all these people are complicit, all these organizations are complicit in crimes against humanity. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. So anyway, let me just kind of go through some of these with you real quick. Map shows states trying to ban chemtrails in Newsweek. At least 8 states have introduced legislation about so-called chemtrails. So they're still denying it. This is Newsweek. And this was dated June 2025. They have no shame. A conspiracy about chemicals being released into the atmosphere by aircrafts. Chemtrail conspiracy theorists claim that the government or other groups are using aircrafts to release chemicals or metals into the atmosphere, visible in the white lines that aircrafts leave behind in the sky. People have claimed these are used for a range of things from weather modification to mind control. And I believe they're using it not only to spread diseases, but also as part of this transhumanist transformation agenda. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the white lines observed behind aircraft are contrails, condensation trails, that form when hot exhaust from jets meets cold air at high altitudes. The EPA states these are a natural result of flight and pose no risk to weather patterns. Some flights do not produce them as they require specific humidity and temperature conditions. Federal agencies, including NOAA, have publicly denied undertaking or planning any weather modification experiments such as those described by chemtrail conspiracy theorists. So you have Louisiana, Florida, Tennessee, Kentucky, Rhode Island, all trying to pass legislation to either ban chemtrails or what have you. It looks like Minnesota's on that list too. That's very surprising. That's really surprising. Chemtrails and contrails. This is the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services, again, saying it's a conspiracy theory. Oh, it's just so disgusting. Pointer.org. So it's a .org. RFK Jr. says DARPA is spraying chemtrails with no evidence and no basis, in fact. So again, they're claiming it's conspiracy. And now we have July 10th, 2025. EPA's Lee Zeldin publishes facts page debunking claims that chemtrails alter weather. Here we have August 2025. Cloud seeding, chemtrails, and conspiracies. Can we really control the weather? Meanwhile, they've been doing this since at least the 60s. Texas House Committee to hear bill outlawing chemtrails, and they put it in quotes, weather control. The legislation invokes conspiracy theories that the government secretly spray chemicals from airplanes to cause natural disasters. And this was dated April 21st, 2025. Erroneous claims. And then we have July 4th. The Rainmaker Technology Corp's cloud seeding caused the July 4th flooding in Texas, right? Oh no, that's false, they said. That's false. Yeah, that's another conspiracy theory. However, they go into the fact that cloud seeding is real. Geoengineering, weather modification is real. They say it wasn't the cause of the Texas floods because, let me see here, Rainmaker Technology Corp's last cloud seeding efforts were July 2nd, and the 2 clouds seeded dissipated between 3 and 4 p.m. Central Time that same day, more than 24 hours before the storm that caused deadly flooding. So, yeah, no, there's no way. No way it could have caused it, right? But then later on, he's interviewed, and he is quoted saying, "We know that in a tank with the right conditions that our magic beans work and that we can make it rain. But clouds are super dynamic systems," said Doricko. "There's no control in nature, right? One cloud versus another, they're totally different. Then, just because you caused it to rain, how much did you make it rain or snow? It was totally unquantifiable." So yes, they could have caused those deadly floods in Texas. They have no way of knowing. It says, but the long entrenched government program proved literally making rain is possible, just hard to quantify. And this is in regards to Project Storm Fury that started in the 60s and proceeded into the early 80s. Looks like exactly 1962 to 1983. The U.S. government's Project Storm Fury sought to weaken cyclones by flying planes dispensing silver iodide into them. And do you want to know who was part of that experiment? This is weird. As it turns out, cloud seeding actually has a long, colorful history in the U.S. Cloud seeding was invented in Schenectady, New York in 1946. And the group of inventors included atmospheric scientist Bernard Vonnegut. Yeah, the brother of Kurt Vonnegut. And it went from 1962 to 1983. And you're telling me that they still can't quantify how much rain they can make when cloud seeding? I don't know if I believe that. And if that's true, I mean, that just shows how dangerous it is, right? But they claim they were only dispersing silver iodide or dry ice. I don't believe that either. Because I've also read that the government was using it to hide planes, like for radar purposes. And so here's NOAA's own website about Project Storm Fury, but then they go on and say that it's conspiracy theory. It's just unbelievable. Here's Operation Order Number 1 through 70, Project Storm Fury on the NOAA website. The report is the basic directive for the conduct of several types of hurricane/weather modifying experiments, but they don't get into detail about what those several types were. It says utilizing aircraft from the Navy, Air Force, and ESSA. Key techniques: direct air capture, technology that captures CO2 directly from the air, ocean sequestration, methods that store CO2 in the ocean, solar radiation modification, stratospheric aerosol injection, involving injecting reflective particles into the stratosphere to reflect light. And I'm wondering if that's what I captured. You'll see in my video. Marine cloud brightening increases the reflectivity of clouds over oceans by adding particles to the atmosphere. Cirrus cloud thinning reduces the thickness of cirrus clouds to allow more heat to escape. And I looked into the viruses that are going around right now. There's like the norovirus, RSV, this new COVID. Do you know what they're calling the new COVID? There's 2 different names. This is like really kind of got me down a rabbit hole. This is what initiated this entire video. You explained to me how we went from Alpha, Delta to COVID nimbus. Nimbus. It's a type of cloud. Are they spraying COVID? Are they spraying bacteria and viruses along with these metals and synthetic materials and nanotech? Why is COVID nicknamed Nimbus? That's not the only one either. I don't know if this is what I had. I was really sick. And it wasn't just like your typical flu that only really lasts like a few days. Like, I'm still feeling the effects, and it's been 2 weeks now. Anyway, the other COVID variant Stratus. Nimbus and Stratus. We're going to have a cumulus. Does this make any sense to you guys? Why did they go from naming them after Greek letters to different types of clouds? I think that they are spraying diseases up in the sky. Synthetic materials for their transhumanist agenda, and viruses as well. Was first detected in Southeast Asia in January. Variant XFG, known as Stratus. First detected in Southeast Asia in January. 0 cases in the US until May. And by late June, 14%. So what are we on to now? It's so insane. It's so insane. I just don't even know what to think anymore. It's so disturbing. All right, back to geoengineering. July 18th, 2025, EPA confirms existence of geoengineering programs validating long-held public concerns. We didn't need validation. We didn't. We didn't. We need them to stop it. We don't need them to tell us what's going on. We know what's going on. The U.S. EPA officially confirmed the existence of government-backed geoengineering programs, reversing years of denial. Administrator Lee Zeldin announced a transparency initiative detailing solar radiation modification, SRM, and its risks. SRM involves injecting reflective particles, e.g. sulfur dioxide, to cool the planet. But the EP warns it may harm the ozone layer, disrupt weather, damage crops, and cause acid rain. Neurological risks like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's are also linked to nano-aluminum particles from atmospheric spraying. The EPA admitted tracking private actors engaged in geoengineering, suggesting undisclosed corporate or international programs, weather-modifying techniques like cloud seeding using silver iodide were also confirmed. And I think this also has to do with RFK. He said he was going to start investigating it as well. The disclosure sparked debate, with some lawmakers pushing for bans while critics dismissed extreme weather links. Skeptics argue the move distracts from broader climate policy failures, blurring lines between fact and conspiracy theories. They're not skeptics, they're the guilty, they're the complicit. The admission raises concerns about undisclosed programs and long-term consequences, while the EPA denies large-scale SRM operations. Public distrust persists, leaving citizens to navigate potential health and environmental risks. The era of denial has ended, but the full impact remains uncertain. Yeah. So, nano-aluminum particles harm people's brains. EPAWatch.org. Perhaps the most alarming revelation is the potential link between geoengineering and skyrocketing neurological disorders. Retired neurosurgeon Dr. Russell Blaylock has long warned that nano-aluminum particles commonly found in atmospheric spraying programs can bypass the body's natural defenses and accumulate in the brain. And we know aluminum crosses the blood-brain barrier. That's why they use it in vaccines. Studies suggest that particles may contribute to Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease, conditions that have surged from 200,000 cases in 1979 to over 6 million today. The EPA's admission raises urgent questions. Could decades of covert atmospheric experiments be fueling a public health crisis? And if your state isn't working to ban geoengineering, like since July, they should have gotten on this immediately. Your leaders are no good. They're complicit. The EPA's disclosure goes further, acknowledging efforts to identify and track private actors engaged in geoengineering. This suggests the programs extend beyond government agencies to include undisclosed corporate or international entities. The article mentions Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm telling you guys, she was one of the good ones. She announced legislation to ban weather modification outright. So there's a lot more information. I'll provide the rest of the article for you. There's lots of links to how geoengineering and nanotechnology manipulate climate and human biology. This is an article from Natural News. It goes into HARP and transhumanism, nanotechnology designed to alter human DNA. And then when I analyzed 2 samples under the microscope today, I think I found microparasites, microworms, synthetic microparasites. You'll see, it's just so disturbing. So I'll provide some of these articles for you on nanobots, biosynthetic parasites that are being found in vaccines, etc. And then I'm going to end with a quick video from a scientist that kind of ties all of this stuff together. I keep getting those things mixed up. I have like nanotech on the brain, but obviously if I'm using a microscope, these are microscopic structures. But I did find this interesting article about micro ribbons, which looks identical to what I was finding in my blood, the ones that are all twisted up. So I'll include this interesting article about micro ribbons as well. And they're saying that micro ribbons are actually considered microbots, microrobots. So that makes sense, I think I was saying nanobots, and I apologize, microbots. Although I'm sure we have nanobots in us too, don't get me wrong. I'm sure they're there. I just don't have the technology to show those to you. Don't have that kind of tech, unfortunately. But I'll include this as well. This article about microrobots in our blood. And it also discusses graphene-based nanoribbons and nanobots too. So, oh my goodness. Check out the samples and let me know what you think is going on. It's so gross. It's so disgusting. So I'll include that as well. Okay. Ugh. Check out my videos. You have a great day. Bye-bye. All right, so today we're going to analyze a sample of rainwater. They were spraying all day yesterday and the day before. Let's see if I can find anything. Put a drop of water on a slide here. See what we find. Yeah, I'm finding little strings. A lot of little strings, you guys. Let me see if I can magnify this. Oh, there's tons of them in this. I can see 4 right here. Oh, this one's really large. Oh, this is gross. Let me zoom in on this. They don't appear to be moving. I'll show you what they are. You see that? Let me zoom in. It might be easier if I zoom in. It's not moving. I don't know what this is. Does have some similar features. So that's in the rainwater sample. See if there's anything else in here. This is disgusting, whatever it is. Oh yeah, this is gross. Okay, so this is good. I got a good magnification of it here. And then you can see the cilia. Yeah, this is disgusting. You see the little hairs on it? The hair-like structures on the side? There's another one. So far I found 6. 7. 8. I'm not sure what this is. Let me zoom in on this. There's a larger one here. It's much thicker. Zoom in on that. This is gross. This might be a good sample. Yeah, that's a great sample for you to see. Start at one end, go to the other. See if we can zoom in on that a little bit more, find out what that is right there. I just find it very odd that, like, these things don't move around. And this object that looks like it's inside of it. Okay, if you look at the end of it, it does seem like it has something sticking out there. Here, look at the end of it. See if we can figure out what that is. I'm watching it and I'm just not seeing any movement. If it was alive, you would expect to see something, wouldn't you? And if it's not alive, then what the heck is it? Zooming in 100 times, I'm still not seeing any movement. But These projections on the end are pretty gross. Almost looks like antenna, right? See on the end there? They must look like antennae. The thing in the middle, I can't really get that to focus well. Now I'm finding a lot of these strings, but I'm not going to show you every single one, because they mostly look the same. This is strange. I'll show you this one here. I wish I had a photographic microscope. Wouldn't that be fantastic? What are scientists doing in colleges and universities? How come we're not seeing this on the news? I don't understand. There's something here. It's like a whole bunch of them. Ugh. This is a disgusting cluster right here. Excuse my language. Oh gosh, look at this one. This will gross you out for sure. As you see this one. Do you see that? Isn't that disgusting? There's like a bunch of them, and then there's other objects in the middle of them. Oh, it's just so gross. I hope you can see what I'm seeing. Okay, this is another sample. This is my second sample of. Let's see if I can get you in there. Do you see that? There are, looks like 3 of them, and or the one branched out into 2. I'm not quite sure. It's either 2 or 3. And again, they're not moving. I don't understand what these are. I'm going to do a Google search, see if I can get some answers. And these, I guess, I don't know if these are heavy metals. I'm not sure what all these little objects are here. Okay, now, I don't even know what to say. Maybe the brightness is a little too high. Bear with me, I'm sorry. All right, do you see this object here? Do you see that? Watch this. Turn the volume or brightness all the way up. I'm going to turn it off. It glows in the dark. What the heck is this? And those synthetic parasite creature things, they glow in the dark too. Light on, light off. Okay, you see that there? Let me switch hands. Wish I could steady myself. But you're going to have to bear with me. This is hard. All right. I'm going to turn it all the way up. Can you see that? Why is it glowing? Why is it glowing? It's not supposed to be glowing. What are they putting in the skies? Okay, here's a close-up. This is 40 times magnification. It's a great image. Ready? Let's turn the light off. What is this? I wish this wasn't so hard. Okay, here's a larger one. And again, these are rainwater samples. I'm going to turn the light all the way up. And then I'm going to turn it off. Why is it like this? Can anybody explain to me why it looks like it's glowing in the dark? Is it reflecting the light from above me? It's a close-up of it.
They have introduced into us. Electroparasites, they're cellular micro devices. And apparently they're in all the different vaccine types, and they're just floating around. They seem to congregate, they do different things, they seem to be able to wiggle, and some are fibrous, some are glowing in different colors. They're employing properties of what you find in nanotech anyway. And the Morgellons people were finding this in their bodies, and they were suffering extremely. Some of them had giant lesions that let out, I hate to say this because people are going to think I'm crazy, but you can watch my videos on YouTube. They're still up there and all over, from chemtrails to pseudo-life. So the people were issuing from their bodies, in some cases, bits of bark, twigs, leaves. These were life forms that the bodies were making from this assembling material.
Well, let me just say a couple of things here, Sophia, as we continue this incredible conversation about what's happening to humanity, this anti-human terroristic plot to destroy humanity and to make people transhuman. My friend Firemedic 8, whose video is there at the top of the phaser.com as we're having this conversation, in a different video, he likes to study all sorts of different things, you know, what's in the air, what's in the water. He put out a dish, and then the next day he took a look at what was in the rainwater, and he found these Morgellons-like structures in rainwater. I don't want to startle anyone, but it really does seem like these things are kind of everywhere.
Microwave radiation pulsing.
This is what I found today. These little string-like objects. Some of them had cilia, and when I turn the light off, you can see that they appear to glow.
Through our urban world today could very well be the newest phase of a giant experiment. With the signing of the Atomic Energy Act in 1946, the Manhattan Project became the Atomic Energy Commission, which created the Joint Committee on Atomic Energy. This was an independent, all-powerful congressional entity, the most powerful secret committee in modern history, free from oversight and with legislative authority. It was done away with in 1977, the same year the Atomic Energy Commission was renamed the Department of Energy. Today, the Department of Energy is known as the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, DEEP, D-E-E-P. Its ostensible focus exploring production of energy for the welfare of the planet and protection of the environment, when the environment is really being taken apart and changed.
Just one last thing about this Augustus Doricko, that mullet-haired freak, the CEO of Rainmaker Technology Corporation. He was awarded the Theil Fellowship in 2024. The fellowship, established by Peter Thiel, provides $200,000 to promising young entrepreneurs who forego college. The Theil Foundation has unveiled the 2024 class of Theil Fellows, assembling a group of 20 brilliant young minds who are set to disrupt various industries. I'm going to read a couple of them to you here. Adarsh Hiremath of California, building AI vetting infrastructure to understand the exact tasks people are good at. He's going to need that information for his AI god, isn't he? Alexander Dubao of Hong Kong, his company SWSH will be there to capture your memories, every celebration, birthday, and vacation with an AI-powered shared photo album. Again, to feed the AI god. AI is likely going to, and this, I actually got this from a really fascinating comment to one of my videos. AI is very likely going to be the Antichrist. The Antichrist is going to be driven, or he's going to have AI. He's going to be a transhuman AI, biological machine. And it is going to have to know everything. It's going to have to be godlike. So all of these people that Theil is funding, well, here, I'm going to read another one for you. Orchard Robotics, this is Charlie Wu from Virginia, is putting eyes on each of the billions of fruit in orchards and using AI to help farmers feed the world with the best food they've ever grown. Christopher Zhu from Massachusetts, Etched is his company, and it's building the hardware for superintelligence, starting with transformer-specific AI chips that run models at unprecedented speeds. Let's see, what else? Here's one with crypto trading. Another one with architecture, flexible AI chips. Another one creating AI models that learn new information more efficiently than humans. This is a data intelligence platform here. LLM-based operating systems. Just wanted to include that. Funded by technology entrepreneur and investor Peter Thiel in 2011, the Thiel Fellowship is a 2-year program for young people who want to build new things. Thiel Fellows skip or stop out of college to receive a $200,000 grant and support from the Thiel Foundation's network of founders, investors, and scientists. And I tried to get a list of founders, investors, and scientists, and I haven't been able to, which is weird. Usually the website provides all that information, but not Thiel's. So I'll keep digging, and if I find that, I'll include it in another video.